Hi guys, yes, it is me, it's Dr. Dan here, but we're doing a video a little bit different today because something I wanted to focus on is the impact of comedy, the positive impact of comedy on people who are living with dementia or a neurological illness or disease. Okay, so we're going to focus on how comedy helps. Now, you may be familiar with an actor called Robin Williams. Unfortunately and sadly, Robin Williams left us a few years ago due to his own disease. And so what I want to talk about is his role in a movie called Patch Adams, which was released in 1998. So, some of you will have seen this movie and some of you won't. If you haven't, then please watch it. It's called Patch Adams. Watch the movie. Patch Adams is a story based on a real life character, a real life physician from Virginia. Now, Patch went through medical school and went through his medical training and started to really understand people and challenged the medical system and the medical model. And what Patch saw was that by introducing comedy and using comedy with patients, it made a huge difference to their quality of life. A massive difference. So his dream was always to push the use of non-pharmacological interventions, i.e., in his case, comedy, clowning in healing. And he has spent his entire career focusing on that. And the movie, whilst it may be a little exaggerated and something that Dr. Patch doesn't really talk about a great deal and doesn't really get involved with a lot, he did advise Robin Williams on the movie set, so he was involved with it. Back in, I think it was about 2016 or there around about that time, I had the wonderful opportunity to attend Phoenix Medical School and do a training with the Dr. Patch Adams and his team of clowns and healers, all who are doctors. And the organisation that he runs and that he's run for many, many years, I have to read it off here because I can never pronounce it, is the Gesundheit. And it's spelled Gesundheit Clinic, the Gesundheit Clinic. If Patch does see this video, I'm sorry for butchering that, mate, but I'm not very good with languages. You can find more information about that at patchadams.org as well. Patch is still around. He's 78 years old now, but he's still out there. He's still doing his thing. And he very often visits third world countries to provide comedy and clowning as a form of healing. This is because there may not be medication available in these third world countries. Very rarely there's nothing. So he does that. He travels around the world and provides the healing and encouraging the body to produce its own pain-killing medicines or analgesics, which are painkillers. Your body can produce its own. Your body produces all its own antibiotics and painkillers and all that kind of stuff. So through laughter, the art of laughter, people can produce their own healing from internally. Now, this is something that Patch did and that I witnessed. Patch went to see a patient in a third world country and she was dying from cancer, and her cancer was causing so much pain and there was no medication, there was nothing to help her. She just cried and cried and cried in pain. Patch went in there dressed in his clown gear, and this nose that I'm wearing was gifted to me by Patch Adams, so this is a part of Patch Adams that I'm just so attached to, as you can see. I am attached to it this morning. But he would go and wear his clown gear and his nose and some like giant baby bottles and rattles and things like that. And he made that woman laugh. And he turned her tears of laughter, her tears of pain, into tears of laughter, tears of joy. And her pain became secondary to her joy. And then he held her, and he held her for around about, I think it was about 10 hours, that he just held her and made her laugh and held her and really cared for her and gave her that closeness and that comfort until she passed away. That is the power of comedy in healing, the power of clowning in healing. So one of the things in medicine, a lot of doctors and nurses, they have a distance. There's a distance between patient and doctor. Okay. One of the first things that Patch taught us, and there was about 80 doctors here learning this, he taught us that closeness is very important, that contact, connectedness is very important. So one of the first lessons we learned, we all stood around in a circle with a space, not much of a space, maybe 6 foot. And then we all had to turn to each other and we had to look at each other, and it didn't matter who it was. When I turned to my right, there was this 6'2" doctor with a beard, and we had to look into each other's eyes. I'm only 5'6", so we had to look into each other's eyes, and in as many different tones and as many different ways we could, we had to say, I love you. I love you. I love you. You know, as many ways as we could to start breaking down barriers, because this is all about communication and contact. So breaking down those barriers. And then afterwards, we had to hug. And we had to hug for, until Patch told us to stop hugging. So there was that kind of breaking down the barriers. And that's really important as caregivers, as doctors, as nurses, that we do break down barriers and that we put ourselves on an equal footing. We're all equal, okay? And then making people laugh. So if people are feeling sad, feeling depressed, feeling angry, agitated, frustrated, whatever negative energy is coming out there, sit down and play some comedy. Watch some comedy on TV. What was the person's favourite comedian, or who is the person's favourite comedian? What is the favourite comedy movie? You know, play it, watch it, get involved with it, and get the person laughing, because you're changing the chemistry in the body, you're changing the chemistry in the brain, you're releasing some really happy chemicals. So the training that I was fortunate enough to do with Patch Adams helped me in my role as a clinical dementia specialist, but it also helped me in my role as a comedian, because I was also a stand-up comedian for a number of years. I don't do it anymore, but that's what I did for a number of years. And I learned how to develop comedy to take into nursing homes and memory care communities and utilize characters, develop characters, and interact and engage with patients and residents there by using these characters. And it's something that I would encourage and urge nursing homes and memory care communities and assisted living communities to do more and more of, because I will often go into these communities and I will see musicians, people singing, people playing guitar, people dancing and things like that. I don't much see comedy in there, comedy and clowning. Bring it into your world, bring it into whatever you're doing to support people who are living with a neurological or a neurocognitive disorder. Bring in the comedy. You can make people laugh, and it doesn't matter where in their journey they are, you can always make them laugh. You can turn tears of joy, tears of sadness into tears of joy. our motto here at the Nightingale Clinic is, what is it, Lynn? We
turn frowns into smiles.
Exactly. We turn people's frowns into smiles. And if we've done that in our day, we've achieved what we set out to do when we got up in the morning. So think about that. Think about bringing in the comedy. Watch the movie Patch Adams and check out Patch Adams's website. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Remember, watch all our videos. Go to the website and drdanielnightingale.com. I'm sorry, I'm got a cold, so I'm not thinking straight. drdanielnightingale.com. You can find me on Google as well, and we have an Instagram page. We have a Facebook page. Go and have a look on there. And
post your questions, post your comments,
yeah,
ideas, scenarios you need help with,
right?
Whatever it is.
Absolutely. Let us know. We're always here. And remember, guys, dump the soda.